Well, been before or first time? Welcome. What's your name?
Marsa.
Marsa? Pheonyx. This is Elisa. Adam. The World Wide Web. Hi everybody. We're streaming online.
Oh, good. Nice.
I knew with the weather it'd be a hit or miss class today with the rain and the chill that's here in the mountains. It tends to keep people. It would have kept me in bed had I not already had an obligation to be here to show up. It's such a beautiful opportunity to meditate when the weather is, I don't know where it is where you guys are, but here it's about 35, 40 degrees and wet and chilly and nice hot cocoa weather. We're getting the last clings of winter. Just heard there's a storm coming, I think, from the west, so we may get hit later in the week next week. So we may get one more snowstorm before it's all over and we get some cold northerly stuff. So I always tell people, don't get too excited. March has been known to have some of the most craziest, coldest weather, at least in Atlanta. That's when we would get our big ice storms or weird freak blizzard. And I've been up here in Nashville for about just under a year now, and it's not that far apart, even though it's mountains and it's flatlands, treelands. But I think I tell myself that, don't get too excited. You get those taste of those 70, degree days, 65 degree sunny days, and you go, it's just a hint, not quite there yet. So, had a sense that we have a quieter class and a smaller class, and it was interesting because in the music meditation I was just immediately drawn to turn off the music and listen to the music outside. The rain falling, hearing it on the metal roof behind us, or there's some gutters and hitting over here on this side, and just the beautiful sounds. I said, oh yeah, we've got to enjoy that. And I was wondering if we would have an uninterrupted 10 minutes, because that's when I turned it off, was about 10 minutes, or about 10:20. And normally we would have people coming in, doors, bell on the door, singing. We did have a little musical symphony from a phone, but it was nice, and then it went off, and then we got back to silence. So it was a unique opportunity to really just kind of be quiet and to listen and observe. And meditation is always just an interesting concept to me. I mean, we don't, as Westerners, do it nearly enough. I mean, to do it even 20 or 30 minutes a day is massive, or 3 times a week. If you just come here to this class and join us online and just sit for half an hour, just deep, quiet, despite all that's going on around you. And that's what I find the beautiful practice of it to be, is that really fine-tuning that ability to stay centered, to not be distracted, and to observe what's going on. I've said this before, but I just love this phrase where, what's the difference between prayer and meditation? A friend said to me. I said, I don't know. I have an idea, but you tell me. Prayer is speaking to God, and meditation is listening to God. So I'm not so much sending too much out, I'm just allowing everything to flow. Mostly inward and through. And I notice when it gets stuck in a certain area, in my physical form or in my energetic body, and it's often signaled by my mind, a fear will rise, or a thought, or, oh, did I forget to do this, or, oh gosh, am I supposed to do that later? Am I going to get, enough time? Did I do that right? Or should I be paying attention to the music? Just all of these distractions that can come up, and I go, just let it go, just let it go. It's an opportunity to really look at the fears that rise minds, and some of them are not really fears at all. They're concerns, they're worries. But one big one did come up. I recently put an application in for a program up in upstate New York with the Omega Institute. And I'm really looking at that now. Like before it was conversation, before it was, yeah, I might do that. Now the application is in, and now I go, uh-oh. What if I get accepted? Not what if I don't. That was kind of like beforehand. Now I've got the application in, and now it's like, what if I do? That means a lot of changes. That means I will be called up and out. To go somewhere I've never been before. To a place that is well known around the country for its programs and for its teachings. It has people from all around the world doing amazing stuff there for the last 30 years and so. And this fear hit me in my gut and the meditation. It's like, and I heard my mind, are you crazy? You can't do that. What about the people here? What about Qigong class? What about the Sacred Embodiment Center? What about your friends? What about your family that lives in Atlanta? Mom's already having a challenge with me just being 4 hours away, and now you're going to be, 40 hours away, whatever it is, 2 days away, a day and a half. No, really, it's only like an hour and a half long thing. But it's all relative, and I just remember being with that just for a brief minute. All of that happened within maybe about 8 seconds. All of those thoughts just went. And then I heard my higher self say, relax. You'll be fine. When have you ever had to worry really about anything? You'll have a roof over your head, you'll have food in your body. You'll be learning neat and interesting things. And the people will always be there. We're all doing our stuff. And so this conversation of going and just watching all of those fears just fall away. Strong away. Yeah. Right. We get that when someone that we love tells us. We hear our higher self from outside of us when someone says, oh, come on. You can do this. You've got this. You've done this before. You're so capable. You're so amazingly strong. You're so brave. And you go, oh yeah. I am, aren't I? That's right. This was nothing like selling everything off that I own 90% of my material belongings and moving to Asheville in 3 months. Well, it's similar, but it's different. And then going back into that quiet place where there's no fear, where there's no doubt, there's really even very little thought, it's just observation. Then the mind activates again and starts to dream and think, wonder what it looks like. Wonder who the people are. And again, an opportunity to go, relax. Be here now. Listen to the rain. Be in this energy. Just go with the flow. Our greatest fear is with the unknown. That's really what death, the fear of death is all about, or the fear of sickness, the fear of abandonment. It's like, what then? What will happen to me, all of my reality that I think I know? Tossed out a window. And the word that keeps coming up out of that is just trust, to trust it all, to trust everything. would say just keep the faith. Those who come from a more traditional religious background, perhaps. It's the same thing. I believe that everything is happening for my greatest and highest good. I wouldn't be here otherwise. And when this no longer serves me, and I no longer serve it, something new will come along. But we have the ability to also participate in our own creation. And that's what I think some people forget. A lot. So it's not simply just, oh, let it go, let it flow, and I'll just end up willy-nilly without a clue. It's I'm co-directing this symphony of my life. Yes, I want to go there. Omega, it sounds awesome. And if it's not now, then maybe some other time. We shall see. But how many of us are every day facing big or little decisions around the unknown? How am I going to pay rent next month? How am I going to buy food? So on and so forth. And you do what you have to do and trust that everything else will be taken care of. And so tapping into the field of flow, into the energy that is the universal flow of everything, is something that can help you maintain that level of awareness and that level of trust. Living an awakened or conscious life is not about not having fear. It's about facing them fearlessly. To look at the problems as challenges, as opportunities. To go, I got this. And by the way, I'm not doing it alone. I've got lots of support all around me, above and below. And so when we're flowing in the chi, when we're moving, when we're gonging this energy through, and we tap into those external and universal, we realize we don't have to figure it out. And we certainly don't have to figure it out all at once. That much of it is just basically getting the ball rolling in the right direction. That brings to mind, I went bowling a couple of weeks ago for the first time in years, and I was like, oh gosh, you know, and it's just the same analogy. You toss the ball, and sometimes you hit a strike. Other times, a split. You're like, oh, that's a big challenge. But I can do this. I've done it before. And every once in a while it hits a gutter. But I realize I throw a lot less gutter balls than I ever did. There's a planetary movement right now of all major planets moving into Aries as we move into Pisces, out of Pisces. Which ones? All of them. Uranus, Saturn, Mars, Venus, they're all shifting through Aries. And if you don't know what that means, Aries is the symbolic, it's a fire constellation. And if you follow astrology and energies, it's about really major movements. A lot of more intense burning way, which is why it's nice to be in this watery energy right now, this flow of this Piscean moon. And I've been feeling it, and it's great that it's raining, you know, here. And I said it last week, so get ready, because there's going to be even more opportunities to face our challenges and to let go and fall and go into the level of trust. It's exciting. So I hope you're in a good place, and if not right now, that you will be as the shift continues to come our way. face those fears. Live in the moment. Listen to the rain. Keep going with the flow. You ready to flow some chi? This is your first time doing Qigong. Excellent. Wow. Have you done Tai Chi?